Greetings YouTube. Anonymous. So sorry for the delay in getting these videos out. I've been really busy at work, and that's despite an influx of decent figures of late, just sort of keeping me away from doing such things. But as the title suggests, today we'll be doing Figure of the Year, which is going to be more of an overview than a review. And this is going to cover off those figures that I've acquired this year. So it's not just about those figures that have been released this year. Those I've managed to lay my hands on as well. And what I'm going to be doing at the bottom of the screen is running a ticker which shows you the figures I've acquired, and then what we'll do further to that is drill down and give you the top 10. I should caveat this by saying I've got a few figures which are outstanding. Open and Play Big Cannon hasn't arrived. The Wage Angle Oversized Megatron Masterpiece, Mega Master I think you call it, hasn't arrived yet either. And Bad Cubes V2 Huff should have arrived yesterday, and that hasn't turned up. And I guess if they show up, then they may well shake the ground up and change the running order, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, I guess. So without further ado, let's get on with things. So before we get going, just a few honourable mentions. MMC's Spartan. I picked him up at TF Nation. It's their version of Impactor from the Marvel Comics. I adore this figure. Sorry, let's get this right. I adore this character. The figure looks fantastic, and he's got an alt mode fairly reminiscent of how he appeared in the IDW comics. But despite my sort of love for the character, this guy can't make it into the top 10 because he suffered from some stress fractures after like 1 or 2 transformations, and I was being really careful with him. And on that basis, you know, the fact he isn't solid, or that solid, means he can't make the grade, which is a shame because I'd love for him to be in there. Now we've got DX9's Mitron here. He's with Masterpiece. Laserbeak there as well. Again, this guy's great. He looks the part, you know, obviously with the you know, advent of the Masterpiece Megatron, this guy became redundant in a lot of people's collections. But he does it for me, you know. He still looks the part, but his transformation is a bit of a piglet, to be perfectly honest, and that's why he didn't make the grade. Year of the Goat Soundwave. Yeah, love this guy. There's nothing really I dislike about him other than the fact, you know, I'd prefer him in the, I picked him up cheap and I prefer him in his proper colour scheme. But he's got it going on. There's nothing I dislike. Like I say, the transformation's good. He just doesn't quite make the grade, you know. And then the big guy at the back, Make Toys Utopia, is a special figure, no doubt about it. But I didn't really get on with the transformation. And one of the things I've come to learn this year is, as I've sort of ventured out into Masterpiece for more sort of G1 based collection, is the transformation's got to be fun, it's got to be accessible, it's got to be involving, you know, and not overly complicated. And I found this guy a bit of a pick to transform back and forth. And I think it's maybe due to his size as well, but he's rock solid. I've been after him for ages, so, you know, I was just a little disappointed having got him that I didn't enjoy him more, if that makes sense. But there we go. Now let's get on to the top 10. So one of the other things I thought we'd do with this video is take a look at my annual spend on Transformers and Diaclone for the year. So at some stage in the video I'll put that up, because, you know, just out of interest, I thought it might be interesting. That makes sense, I suppose, doesn't it? To take a look at that and see how, you know, you guys can then take a look and see how that compares. So anyhow, at number 10, we have Make Toys Downbeat. And this guy absolutely nails jazz. The aesthetic's just spot on. The bot mode's great. It's got great articulation. Look at that. This is something I broke, and I don't think it's necessarily fragile. And it might just been me being a bit heavy-handed with him, but that should sit about there in actual fact. It comes with a wealth of accessories. I've added an Autobot sticker there, which he doesn't come with, but there's a place for it. What are my issues with this guy? Alt mode spot on. Bot mode spot on. I think Causeville might well do the alt mode a little bit better, but certainly not the bot mode. The issues are, he's become a bit of a statue because I hate the leg transformation. He just looks so fantastic though, that I'm prepared to sort of put up with that. The upper half's fine. It tends to pop out here very easily. That's the only other thing I'd say about it. So number 10, it comes with some different head sculpts as well. Number 10, Make Toys Downbeat. So next up we have Unique Toys Alan, their version of Springer, and this guy really is solid, a proper lump, and he feels so well made. I just love him for that. He looks great. The green might be a little bit off, and it's fair to say he's probably a little bit oversized as well. He scales well with Magnus, Masterpiece Magnus, but not so much with something say like Masterpiece Hot Rod, MP27, not the MP9. But there's what's the issue with this guy? You know, I think it's probably those hip. Normally you get these hip flaps which enable you to move things beyond a certain point, and he doesn't have those. The legs, the leg transformation's a little bit fiddly as well, but otherwise he's actually quite a fun transformation as well. But it's those legs probably that bring him in at 9 as opposed to any higher. Otherwise, I love him. I think he really looks the part. That's Unique Toys Springer, number 9. So next up at 8 we have Cloud9's Quake Blast. And this guy strikes me as a comic book sort of take on Shockwave, as opposed to obviously the Masterpiece Shockwave, which is very much based on the G1 cartoon. This guy's a lot more muscular, a lot more of a adversary for Prime or Megatron, as he was often depicted in the comic book, in the Marvel comic book from the 80s. Great articulation, a fun transformation. He's pretty solid as well. I think, you know, what are the disbenefits on this guy? I think it just depends on your take on Shockwave. You know, if you want an animated Shockwave, then I guess this isn't the guy for you, perhaps. But he's solid. You know, good ratchets. You know, he's a great take on Shockwave. So that's Quake Blast. So something a bit different now for number 7. We have Titans Returns Nor. The Titans Returns line's given us loads of figures that we never anticipated on ever seeing. You know, the Headmasters, some Target Masters, and the like, and this little guy. He's a load of fun, great transformation. He looks the part. There's a bit of visible hand syndrome going on there. You can do that bit from the 86 movie where I think he split his head with a circular saw or something. Why am I imagining that? I know Cut punched his teeth in, didn't he? But anyhow, great little figure, good little take on the guy. bit different from everything else you're probably going to see, because I think most of the others are going to be Masterpiece in the top 10 or Masterpiece scaled. So Titans Returns and all. So next up, number 6, and this is Masterpiece Delta Magnus. We can apply some artistic license here and say Masterpiece Magnus, I think it's fair to say. Other than the fact that Ultra Magnus comes with his the red, white and blue hero colours of the movie. This guy did appear in the movie trailer in this colour scheme. I don't know if people know that or not. So if you go back and look at your original trailer, you'll see Ultra Magnus in this blue, grey and red. And I happen to really like this colour scheme. And I like that little homage to the movie there as well. I happen to pick him up at a decent price. Great fun transformation again. I think that's a theme you'll see throughout all of these top 10 figures, other than perhaps Downbeat. The transformation's got to be fun, or they're not going to be something I'm going to have that want to go and pick up and play with again. The only thing this guy's lacking is waist articulation, and that's the only thing it suffers from. Other than that, and if he had that, he'd be appearing higher up that top 10 list, I guess. You've got a place for like in the movie, the way his chest opens up, you can install a matrix there for when he gets the matrix from Prime. I hope that's not a spoiler alert there. I'm sure most of you have seen the movie. But other than that, he's other than that waist articulation, he's fantastic. Just a shame about that, and I guess that's born out of the transformation, perhaps. In alt mode, he's fantastic as well. And you've got the cab forms out the back here, believe it or not. He's got a bit of a bum flap, but and the cab's articulated as well, so it can turn and everything, and you can take it off the trailer section as well. Yeah, he's a great toy. Just suffering from that lack of waist articulation, which these sort of things aren't normally a big deal for me, but I actually miss it on this guy. Whereas I'm not sure I've ever said that before, or felt that before. But it's the only thing perhaps I can pick the bones out of it, and perhaps it's just the fact that we're reviewing the guy in a top 10 list, and then you can see other figures that do have this, which therefore have to go higher on that basis. Anyhow, Masterpiece Delta Magnus. Right, we're getting down to the business end now of things. This is number 5. Masterpiece Hot Rod. The MP, oh god, 20, I think I said 27 earlier, I think it's 28. MP 28, if that's wrong I'll put it up on the screen. He's got a bit of a backpack, but it's actually quite a clever way, but it all folds up and you don't really notice it too much in hand. He comes with a wealth of accessories. I haven't really got any of those out at the moment, including the circular saw, including the fishing rod from the movie. Does he have some guns? I think he has some guns. This is the KO version, and this came with a matrix as well, which you can put in his chest there as well. I know the official release didn't come with that, and that was one of the things that sort of appealed to me about this guy. Not that I haven't got other matrices, because I don't know what the plural for matrices is. Matrix still? I don't know. Not that I haven't got other matrix I could have used with this guy, but there you go. I'm digressing. So yeah, alt mode's fantastic. This mode, I like it. It's a great fun transformation. I just wonder about these legs looking a little bit thin, a bit gangly, and I think the MP9 Hot Rod Rodimus looks a better toy, but I understand there's tons of problems with that guy. I haven't got him. you know, in terms of it breaks, you know, particularly around the feet. I thought he was quite fragile from what I could gather. Whereas this guy, you can just go back and forth transforming him all day long. He's got the flip out eyes thing. I won't be able to demonstrate, no doubt now. There you go. And you can, the visor, which you can put back in there. And then put his head back down. So whoops. MP28 hot rod. So I believe MP27. If it's not, I'll put it up on the screen and correct myself. Masterpiece Ironhide at number 4. This guy comes with a shit ton of accessories. He's really fun to transform. Of course, this is the point where the Masterpiece line seemed to take some sort of diversion, a different route, and it was going more cartoon accurate, and that obviously split a lot of the fandom as to whether or not they were, you know, liking the toon, this toon aesthetic and Masterpiece anymore. I happen to really like this guy. I didn't really notice, let's say, the lack of detail on him, because, you know, for me it's all about, you know, solid modes that are fun to transform. And again, this guy doesn't disappoint in that respect. Like I say, he comes with a shitload of accessories. He comes with these, you know, 2 or 3 different heads. I think one with the dying face, another one where he's shouting, I think, you know, so you can recreate scenes from the toon where he's getting shot by Megatron, say, for instance. He comes with his skid, he comes with his backpack, he comes with his hand attachments where, you know, he slides his hand in and out comes some sort of fire extinguisher that sprays foam and stuff. Really highly posable again. I know people have moaned about so you can do that sort of bit where the Decepticons attack the spaceship on their way to Earth in the movie, and Megatron kills him. A lot of people have moaned about this. They're calling it a nappy, a diaper. But it doesn't bother me really. If you're that bothered about these side flaps here, or side skirts, that's the word I was searching for earlier, I think skirts, then I think the Shadowfish should do an upgrade kit for this guy as well, which sort of hides them away elsewhere. I'm not too bothered about that stuff. Like I say, it's a great figure. I'm surprised it doesn't come a little bit higher in my top 10, but you know, I've got other figures which I seemingly prefer. So Masterpiece Ironhide, number 4. Number 3, Toyworld Cosmos, or Toyworld, sorry, Spaceracer. Their take on a Cosmos, and I love this guy. He's fantastic. Super fun transformation, really easy. Don't know how long that's going to last for, because he's got a gold plastic, and we all know what happens to gold plastic over time. But for now, I'm in love with this guy. He's fantastic. Oops. Really good take on Cosmos. My personal favourite of all the Cosmos wars that have taken place with X-Transbots and whatever else have you, know. This guy, I think, was probably first to the party, and he's still my favourite. They've got a rotating, you can rotate this bit. I've never done it because there are people saying that they've done this and then they've scratched the paint on the top here, but you can rotate this top bit on his head and it can change the eyes for slightly different eyes, but they're not that dissimilar that I'm going to bother, to be perfectly honest. The Alt mode's great. I like some of the accessories that do come with some of the other Cosmos. Like one of them comes with when he's in UFO mode, you've got cows, you can beam them up to the spaceship, which I think is a really nice touch. Shame this didn't come with that, but you know, would I use it? This guy, of course, does come with the arc type backdrops, so the orange backdrops that Toyworld give with their figures, which enables you to create up a like a scene, a background scene. But I've never got that out of the box, I don't think, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, the thing this suffers from, which prevents it probably being any higher, is these hands. They're static. You've got no articulation in the hands, and that is my real only beef with this guy. These are super tight, and whenever you use them, I worry about breaking them, but they've not broken to this point. But great figure. I recommend you pick him up. Toyworld Cosmos. Number 2, Fans Toys Phoenix. I'm having to pick the camera up here in order to get this guy in because he's an absolute beast. I think he comes in at about 15 inches. A lot of people are saying that he's oversized, as in too big for the other masterpiece figures that we've got. But I absolutely adore this guy. Until about 2 or 3 weeks ago, he was my figure of the year. And then something came along and blew this guy out of the water as well, which was hard to imagine. So I picked this guy up at TF Nation for £170, I think. And never looked back. He is absolute beast. He's so solid. I love the white plastic. The only questionable thing on Phoenix is this sort of red metallic they've used on his grills on the side of his legs. They're sort of almost more in homage to the Generations leader class Jetfire, which had all the what do they call it? Chromed, these red chromed bits and guns, and what do they call it? Vacuum chromed? I don't know. But it looked more like something that had come off that toy. Sorry for the finger in front of the screen there. This guy's absolutely amazing. He just does the bit dusty because he's just been on display. I still haven't taken these off. He's been transformed numerous times. Great fun transformation again. Still got the QC sticker down there. Yeah, didn't notice that before. Simply love him. Solid as you like, as they come. No waist articulation unless you... I think there's a means of untabbing something and then you can get waist articulation on him. But it's a bit of a cheat. But it does work. Nevertheless. Yeah, I think you can open this canopy as well. There we go. Jet mode's fantastic. Recreate little scenes with world's smallest transformers as well, where they're sort of riding up a ramp, even though they've got nowhere to go. It looks like they're loading up when they did the trip to the Inca Temple in Skyfire in Fire on the Mountain, if memory serves. Yeah, I can't praise this guy enough. Fantoys have really got this spot bollock on. Given the Skyfires we've had before, with Mecha, was it Mecha Fans Toy or something? I can't remember. And Kronos, which have had their flaws. This guy, I can't fault him. I think he's amazing. So number 2, Fans Toys Phoenix. So here we have it. It couldn't be anything else, really, could it? Number 1, Big Power GV from the Diaclone reboot line. This thing is the nuts. There's not a thing I can fault about this. This is a toy line that just keeps on giving. Yeah, it's amazing. That's all you need to know, really. So this thing has so many modes. And as we've said before in my previous videos, you know, this is a toy line that just keeps on giving, because every little piece adds to the piece that's come before, and the pieces that come before add to the next piece, you know. So it's you know, this is a base, you know, it can be a base for the powered suits and the Dionauts, repair bays for the powered suits, you know, wheeled vehicles, flying vehicles. So if we take this bit and remove these, we've got a little jet. These can go on the back of the legs here. Yeah, that's where they should store away, like so. I don't know whether you can see that or not. But they come away and can form a wheeled vehicle for these bits, which is sort of surplus to the main big powered GV mode. We've got, whoops, missile pods in here. We've got a powered suit in here with our Dionaut in here. And this then obviously becomes the powered suit. And then when you're ready, you know, if he's in an alternate mode, just put him back how he was before. Bear me a second. Have I done that right? I think I've done that right. Maybe they go around the back. Why did I do it? Don't know what I'm doing now. Okay, bear with me a sec. Sorry about that. Just wanted to put the mech suit back in there and not waste loads of people's time watching me fumble around with the thing. So if you then put the mech suit back in, the power suit back in, like I've done, slide this grey bit forward like that, and then let's push it back there so you can see. Push the mech suit in. Up comes the head reveal. Big powered. And then you've also got, you know, a different head reveal. Alternatively, you can turn that into another quite mean looking version of big powered GV, has to be said. Got these Gatling guns. These other modes will turn into ships and land going vehicles, and there's just various, you know, options. Watch a, you know, I'd say watch, who's done a good video? I'm trying to think who's done a good video of Big Powered. I know Nerd Out have done a video of him, which is, you know, in the usual Nerd Out manner, very good in their own way. I'm trying to think which one. Ben's Collectibles has done a good one, which shows various modes, I think. So watch the Ben's Collectibles one for that, because he does a better job of this sort of stuff than I will. I can barely transform and talk at the same time, so and I'm struggling to get these out. Bear me a sec. Sorry about that. I just wanted to get this head back so you can have a close-up look of the Big Power GV head. Looks very sort of reminiscent of Optimus Prime, I think. You know, very hero colours again. Yeah, this is without doubt toy of the year, and like I said, I've got a couple of things still in the post. Open and Play Galvatron, the Mega Master oversized Megatron Masterpiece, and V2 Huff from Bad Cube, but I can't see any of those toppling this guy. The Megatron's going to be an interesting one, and that I think that might appear in the top 10. The Open Play Galvatron, it's got, looks like a really fun transformation. Could well appear in the top 10 as well. And like I say, if that happens, then then I'll do an edited video to incorporate those guys. But this is the number one. It's £225 from Kapow, which is not an insignificant amount of money. It's a serious commitment, but you won't regret it. He gets so much more handling playtime than any of the other figures that I've got, that you can offset that cost, and justify it more so to yourself. So number one, Big Power GV. And here we have our top 10 altogether. I've just noticed there's only one Decepticon in the top 10. I don't know whether that's relevant or not. Just something I noticed. I need to give you a sense of sort of perhaps scale as well for some of these guys, if you haven't come across any of them with them all together like this. So yeah, the top 10 figures of the year for 2017.